Jeff is starting his roof inspection with the placement of the ladder. Now, the entire time he did the exterior inspection, he was looking for the perfect spot to put this ladder. That perfect spot doesn't mean the spot that it's closest to the ground or that's closest to his truck where he's hauling the ladder. It's the perfect spot from a safety standpoint. In this case, it's very level ground. He's got the proper angle on his ladder. He's got the proper rungs above the gutter. And he's taken extra care for two things: not to cause any damage to the house and to safely tie off the ladder so that when he's alighting from the ladder to and from, that ladder doesn't move. You'll see here that before Jeff gets on the roof, he's got several things he needs to do. He has some important measurements to make and some important observations to do. First thing he's going to do is he's going to record the pitch of that roof. He's going to verify the type of shingles it has, how many layers those shingles have, whether it has drip edge, whether that drip edge is over or under the felt, which has a difference in how that repair process goes, and whether that home has ice and water shield or not. And the last thing he usually does is he goes ahead and makes an overhang measurement. One of the reasons why he does this and does all this right now, could he do it when he's getting off the roof? Yes, he could. But he's found out over time that if he does all this right now, he's got that recorded and he doesn't have to think about it again. After Jeff's made his observations at the top of the ladder, he goes ahead and proceeds onto the roof. This is a steep roof. With this steep roof, he makes sure that he always has 3 points of contact at all time as he's going onto the roof, either on the ladder or the roof or a combination of the two. To do that, he's going to have both hands free, and he does. He's got his clipboard, it's attached to his belt, it's not in his hand. As he heads up the roof, he's going to go ahead and look at any exterior walls that he couldn't see from the ground that are blocked by the garage roof or other roofs. He'll go ahead and take a look at those. Jeff heads up the roof. The first thing he's going to do is see if he's got damage to this roof. So he's looking at soft metals for damage. They're the most susceptible. As he scouts around, he sees some soft metal damage on some rain caps and some pipe jacks. So he knows on this roof, he needs to, number one thing he's got to do, he's got to verify that eagle view. And if he can't verify the eagle view, he needs to go ahead and measure and draw this roof. Jeff's found soft metal damages, but he wants to make sure that his photographs indicate the type of damage that he can see with his eyes. So he's going to go ahead and use a little bit of chalk to help those damages stand out, and then he's going to photograph them. The next thing he's going to do, he's going to take those important overall photographs so that any file reviewer or anybody that comes along after him has a well-documented file. Following up on that, he's documenting on his scope sheet the appurtenances that are damaged and the appurtenances that are not damaged. He needs to have the numbers of each, and then we're going to go ahead and proceed with test squares. Documenting hail on a composition roof is done by hail test squares. They're done in 100 square foot section as a hail test square. If you notice that in this particular one, it's a 10 by 10. Jeff will go ahead and mark off the 100 square feet, and then he's going to go ahead and start at the bottom and work his way up. The main reason he starts at the bottom and works his way up is a safety. You do not want to be backing up as you're looking for hail damage. You'll be concentrating on looking for hail damage, and you could walk off the roof. As he's walking along, if he sees anything other than just a normal looking shingle that's not hail damage, he'll mark it OTH, which stands for other than hail. He'll do that because you can see in the photographs that there's a mark there, but it's just not hail. But we want to clearly identify that he's noted that mark. When he gets ready to take his overall photographs, he'll do that from the bottom looking up. When you take your photographs that way, you'll take a much better photograph than standing at the top of your test square photographing down. On this particular roof, there's no hail damage to the shingles, so we don't need a rollover vent measurement. But we're showing you this because it's an important measurement to get should we be replacing the roof, and it's a measurement you cannot get off of Eagle View. Before Jeff gets off the roof, he's going to go ahead and take a closer look at these gutters. He's looked at them from the bottom, but he wants to go ahead and look at them from the top also so he can identify all the hail damage. If you find hail damage, there's no reason to walk to the edge and take that photograph. You just point it out with your tape measure and take your photograph that way. Jeff takes a closer look at this roofing above the interior water stain to see if there's any storm-related damage. He finds none. Therefore, he's concluded that it must be wind-driven rain. Jeff uses as much caution getting on the ladder as he did coming up. Notice when he approaches the ladder, he keeps that 3 points of contact, and he does not load that ladder with weight until he's able to get a foot on a rung below the gutter.
Ms. Thomas.
Yes, sir.
I am done with my inspection. Do you have a minute and I'll go over it with you?
I sure do.
Perfect, perfect. Thank you. I just kind of want to briefly talk about what I found out there, okay? We obviously got the damage on the inside.
Okay.
Didn't see anything else as I walked through your home. We're going to allow to have that repaired. It's just a light water stain.
Okay.
So a nice seal is going to cover that up, and then we're going to allow to have this entire ceiling painted to make sure we get that match again, okay?
Okay.
The exterior. So I didn't see any damage on the front and right elevations. I did, however, over here on the right to your AC unit, there was some small dings to the fins on that AC unit, okay? They can comb those out and repair those nice and easy and not a big deal. We're going to include that in the estimate. As I moved around through the rear elevation and through the left elevation, I found some small hail hits to the gutter, some screens, the glazing bead. I don't know if you noticed the glazing bead has some U shapes knocked out of them. That was from the hail. So they can take that piece of trim work, take that out and put a new piece back in there, be as good as new. I did not see any additional damage. There was, your fence looks like it got blown over as well. So we're gonna allow to have that run of fence repaired. And then it's also stained, so they're gonna need to restain that part of it. Now on this front piece of fence, that was not wind damaged, but it had some, the stain on the fence had some pop marks on it.
Okay.
And we're gonna allow to have that restained as well. So that fence will look nice and neat over there, okay?
Perfect.
Now the roof. I know you guys were concerned about your roof.
Yes.
The good news, we did not find damage to your shingles. Those shingles are in great shape. We found some small dings to the vents up there. You got some soft metal up there that really will show some good damage. And we found pea-sized hail up there, and that's the extent of the damage we found.
Okay, so I'm not getting my roof replaced?
No, ma'am. Again, like I said, we didn't find any damage to the roof. There was just some small representations of pea-sized hail. Okay. So in order for the hail to damage those shingles, we're gonna need some pretty decent sized hail. And it didn't look like there was a big hail out here. From what I seen on your gutters, the screens, and your AC unit, it all seemed to be pretty small hail.
Okay, but my neighbor over there got their roof replaced, the neighbor a couple houses down got their roof replaced.
Exactly, and I'm not sure what they had going on with their home. It could be because they had a different type of shingle. Their shingles could have been much older than what you've got on your home.
Okay.
There's a lot of things that go into it instead of just the damage. So not knowing what they had, we just have to look at your home and base our decision on what we see here. Just to kind of help put you at ease a little bit, we want to make sure that we're covering your home. We don't want to come back out here because we've got damage that we didn't address and then have to come back and get it again on the inside. We'd much rather catch it on the front end, and we did not see anything up there.
Okay, well that makes sense because I don't want you to have to come out again either, but again, they got theirs replaced, so.
So I'm going to complete all my paperwork, and when I'm done, I'll be following up with you, giving you a total amount, a check, and a copy of the estimate. And if you have any questions, please feel free to give me a call.
Okay, I will. Well, I appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thank
It was
you,
my
sir.
pleasure.
Have a good afternoon.
Thank you.